Welcome to Prana Talk TV.
Shayna Dean, the light bean,
and Ellie Tong, el-amin.
Voila. This is good.
Oh, we were sitting in a beautiful park in Cottonwood, Arizona.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
And we have so many wonderful things to share today because our minds are just flowing with ideas and downloads and all this good stuff.
Because we realize that we are living lives that we are happy with. That's awesome, ain't it?
Really happy.
Because how the saying goes, every person has two lives. One life is the dream, and the other life is reality. However, they must become merged as one. How do you do that? Well, one level is you can take the dream and bring down the fantasy out of it. Oh, here we go. Take the fantasy out of it. And the other way is to look at your reality and raise the energy of it.
Ooh.
Whoa.
How's about we do both?
How about if we do both? Some people might need that. Because you know how we always talk on the Breatharian level where we say, let's take the myth out of it, or let's bring it down to earth. Don't I always say that? Because we're taking a dream of our imagination. Because if you keep it up there too high, you can't reach it.
Right.
And we take the myth out of it, the fantasy out of it, to bring it down to earth. Oh, this is good, ain't it?
So part of it being up there is you thinking, oh, it may not be possible.
Mm-hmm.
Having that limited thinking. Like the dream could be, oh, what do I dream of for my life,
right,
for my body, for my health, for all of that. It's always a dream. It's always out there.
But if you take the fantasy out of it, it starts becoming more tangible.
Right.
But then the other part is our reality we in. We got these physical bodies, our jobs, our home, our neighborhood, where you're at, that's your reality. Now you got to raise the frequency of your reality, the energy of it. Wow. And it's basic things. It ain't hard. How do you do that? It could be something like clean up your house.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Clean up the house, get rid of clutter. Just that will raise the vibe in your space. Absolutely.
Getting rid of things you don't need no more, but it's causing you a lot of stress.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is good, ain't it?
And of course, cleaning the body. That raises your vibration. Doing things that brings you more health. Because believe it or not, the healthier you are, the higher frequency you are.
Here we go. See how you're raising the frequency of your reality? Start being a happier person, a nicer person.
Right. Kindness. Work on being more generous, looking on the bright side, being optimistic. Right.
Smile.
Smile.
Say how you doing.
Yeah, pick up some trash.
Right. You're raising the frequency of your reality.
Yeah.
We could go on and on. But then that dream again, no matter what it is, take the fantasy out of it. There was a friend of mine who, they got this astrologer to help them with their life. Some people, believe that and stuff. But as she was telling me what the astrologer was doing for her, this is what it boiled down to. She just met somebody who looked at their life or where they at and gave her time management. Whoa, gave her time management. So she can manifest the stuff that she's after. Sometimes you need help like that. So she took her dream and brought it down to earth, took the fantasy out of it. You can be that, but it's going to take this, that, where you're at, and made it real. So she look at that word astrologer, astrology. It just means the study of the stars, the patterns, the energy of the stars, and how it relates to your life.
Right. And sometimes we do need that exterior voice, someone else saying, hey, this is possible. Or, I see this as a potential future for you. And then you can really believe that and take it forward. What happens if you're that voice? Mm-hmm. What happens if you say, you know what? I can do this. And don't accept any limited thinking at all. Just, I can do this. I can make it happen. I'm capable.
I'm able. All of this stuff. and go for it.
Go for it.
Absolutely.
And it might be small steps in the beginning. Actually, most likely it will be.
Most likely it will be. Small steps that take you further. Oh, this is good, ain't it? That's why there's a cartoon where they got these two ladders. The one ladder got these big steps, but the person could never grab them. The other one had little steps, so the person made it to the top. You know, these are little things, but it tells a lot of truth. You always start small. You start learning how to play a guitar. You know, think about it. You want to start running marathons and you never ran before. You're always going to start out small. You want to get a higher energy on your spiritual path. You're going to start out small. Most people try to jump too big. And you know what? And I figured out like this. Sometimes a person does that because they're setting themselves up for self-sabotage so they don't have to take that journey.
That's on a subconscious level.
Right.
Absolutely. Some people want to get there really fast, so they take that big jump, but then they're not really ready for that.
Exactly.
And it'll put them right back where they're comfortable, and that's okay, but you will learn over time to take those smaller steps. So this is about changing your life, but also if you're wanting to be more pranic in general, all of this is really important because it's not only about the food and eating less, but it's also about cleaning up your life and just raising your general vibration and being happier, because if you're not happier in your life, then what's the point of eating less?
Absolutely. Now check
what's
this
the
out.
point, right? So you want to be in a good space.
The energy that's in you, the source, is the same energy that runs the universe. That's powerful, ain't it?
That is powerful, and there's a lot of spiritual literature to back up exactly what we're saying. So if that were true, which it is, then that means you have the same powers as the universe. You are just as creative. You are a creative life force energy being.
Wow. That's just a mind blow.
That's the truth of it. So really start acting like it, right? So in other words, bring that into your life. What do you really want? You know, don't put any mind into what you don't want for your body. Oh, I'm afraid of getting sick. Well, if you think about that, you might get sick, right? Or,
Right.
I'm afraid of financial stuff. And don't think about that. I mean, always have these wonderful ideas and how you want your life to be better, and stay positive and flowy and fluid. And as we're talking about all this positive, wonderful energy, the sun's coming up.
Oh, man, the sun will be out. Not tomorrow, but now.
Right now.
Oh, man. But that is very powerful statement we said. So that's the source energy that everybody has. Everybody has. And that's what you want to start living your life for. You know, if you really want to manifest this path. The mistake people made, and I see people's statement all the time, like somebody will say, oh, I've been on this diet for such amount of years, and I fasted for 40 days, and it didn't work. I tore myself up because you tried to do it without the source. Did we say this?
So well said. You should not do anything without source.
I don't hear that. That's why on this message, I don't hear nobody talk about meditation, the source. They talking about technique and trying to do something without the source.
Right. You know, I was thinking about the word sorcerer the other day. Sorcerer and sorceress. Well, let's think about that word. It's centered on the word source.
Yep.
So you're taking the source and you're using your own magic and you're creating what you want, right?
Absolutely.
So we are sorcerers and sorceresses of our lives. We are taking the source energy. It's in our body. And we're just really, truly putting it out into our life and just saying, hey, what can we create?
Absolutely.
How can we live the best life, the life that I've always dreamed of?
It has to be with the source. Why? How you going to have the best life ever if the source ain't magnified? This is what we're talking about.
That's so true. You know, the higher I've gotten on this path and the more I've increased my spiritual energy just with letting go, and there's so many different things I can share.
Right.
But the more abundance I've had in my life, the more in alignment I felt, the healthier I am, everything. So everything you've ever wanted is right there for you. But we really do have to embody this source God energy.
That's in us. Now, that's why we'll use that word energy cultivation. Okay, let's put a ring to it. You are working with the source within you. every day. Why shouldn't you? All throughout the day. The source is everywhere.
Did you know that you're working with energy all day long, regardless if you're aware of it?
Here we go now.
All of your thoughts is energy work.
That's why. Oh, go ahead.
So whether you're thinking of something negative or positive or a worry or something you're excited
Everybody's
about,
creating their reality.
every thought is energy work. You can call it that if you want, but you're putting out energy. So what are you bringing back? So every little thought and word and action is energy work in your life. You're an energy worker.
Absolutely. And what she just said, the difference between your average person and an enlightened person, these are just two different words, is that the average person is asleep. They choose to go to sleep. The enlightened person is the person who woke up to what we're talking about, that reality.
Right.
Man.
You're just simply aware of what you're creating.
Wow. This is awesome,
It's
ain't
just
it?
being a really conscious,
You're conscious of what's going on.
and what you're thinking, what you're doing all the time. And the more you can pay attention to your thoughts, the more powerful you will be, because our thoughts run amok from us all the time.
Right. It is creating your reality.
Running. So if you can say, hey, what am I thinking all day long? What are these themes? How can I kind of shift them and change them so I can live the life of my dreams?
That's why I put a real good post on one time on social media that said, the more thoughts you have, the more problems. The less thoughts, more peace. You don't need to do all of this because you're shooting energy everywhere. Just relax. Everything relax.
Yeah.
It stops causing so many ripples. you know, right?
It's true. Yeah.
You did that. Too many ripples. Shh. And then everything will cool down and you'll be in peace.
Yeah.
Because we're energy beings, whether if you like it or not. Well, check this out. Now we're going to change the wording. Whether if you believe it or not, whether if you want to, or whether if you want to accept it, you are God. You are God. So we keep using these words to source. Everybody shake their head. The sameness in you that's running the whole universe, you shake your head. Now there's that word that's taboo for a lot of people. Because we always say this is the temple of God. What you think the masters are saying? God lives in the temple. So when you start living your life for that light that's inside, you could do all types of things. The sky's the limit.
The sky is the limit. So just start seeing yourself as that. I love telling this one little story here I'm going to share with people. There was, that phrase, note to self, remind yourself of something, note to self. I had a friend of mine say, hey, why don't you switch the word self with the word source? So then I started saying note to source. When you start speaking to yourself on that level, it actually starts changing the way you fundamentally feel about yourself and your body and everything. So you start owning your sourceness.
Oh, absolutely.
Your godness, right?
And that God that's in us, it can't be destroyed. It can't be destroyed by a nuclear bomb. It can't be shot. It can't be frozen. It can't be burned. You know, that energy that's in you. And it don't need anything. That energy that's inside of you is behind the elements. That's how powerful it is. So when you talk on a level of protein, minerals, vitamins, you don't understand the source yet. When you get to the source, it goes beyond that. But that power is in you and it will sustain you when you stay connected to it.
Absolutely. You are an eternal, infinite being.
Wow.
So why wouldn't you want to hook into that every day?
Absolutely.
Not just that acknowledgement and that awareness, but feeling it. And so how do you feel it? By doing energy practices, like meditation, in my case, Reiki, you like Qigong, you pick any kind of energy cultivation you like, or just simply walking through a forest like this, be sitting in nature. Yeah, so feeling all that energy in the body, that's you experiencing your godness. nature.
Experiencing it. It will keep growing more and more because we generate our own energy. Listen at that.
Mm-hmm.
We do. We generate our own energy. So that energy in you, that God in you, that spirit in you, you wanted to generate more energy. That's why this is a lifestyle.
Yes, you can make your energy imprint, your auric field, whatever you want to call it, you can make it really big.
Absolutely.
Really, really big. Some of like the saints from India, was it India?
Oh yeah.
They can, they can be felt from like half a mile away, maybe even further, right? So if you walk into a room, do people feel your energy and it feels like loving light?
Absolutely.
Right? Does it have a healing effect on others?
And it's just not India, it's all around the world.
Right, but those are the ones that are documented. But it's all around the world, absolutely. And you can tell too if you notice how animals respond to you, how children respond to you, how other people in your world are responding to you.
Absolutely.
How are you responding to yourself? Are you happy with the way you think and feel and speak to others and all of that, right?
Oh, man.
And this isn't about self-judgment, but it's about just becoming more loving, more aware of your God energy, letting go of judgments, letting go of thoughts, because that can keep us out of that God energy, right? So calming the mind, and the meditation's really helpful too. I mean, really, really helpful.
Absolutely. And I gave an example. To give you an example, one time I had this job that I told people that I got paid really good money. Now listen at this. However, there's other people that work the same job. They didn't feel that way. Why is that? We had different wants, different lifestyles. We got paid the same amount, but one person said, this is a lot. The other people said, this isn't enough.
Right.
Same with how you use your energy. It's the way you use it. You keep depleting it. You don't have enough. Oh, did we say this?
That is so true. So, moral of the story, want less, have less. Be happy with what you have. And also don't, or be mindful, I should say, of where you're losing energy. Are you saying yes to everybody? Are you overtaxed with all the things that you're doing and your obligations? Or are you kind of pulling in and taking care of this beautiful body temple?
Right.
And needing less and less and living more of a simplistic lifestyle. All of that is going to bring you richness that you will never, ever tire of. You will just be so happy with your lifestyle. And that's when you start bringing this fantasy life into reality, right? It's moving into this more harmonized state of being with nature.
Absolutely. And all we're doing is sharing with people, because if you don't want this lifestyle and want to do other things, that's okay too. Oh, this is good. That's okay too, because let's use the word survival. Sometimes when we look at the word survival, it sounds on a vibrational level that a person's barely making it. But when you look at the definition, sur is a Latin word that means super. It means super. And then vival comes from the Latin word vive, V-I-V-E. That means life, super life. See, there is a thing called a survivalist on the planet, because I went to a lot of survivalist training. I love it. But what a survivalist is, the motto is, the more knowledge you have, the less you need on your back. The more knowledge you have, the less you'll have on your back. So people go out for that type of knowledge to learn how to take care of themselves, to be self-sufficient. You can make it anywhere because the world will provide, the universe will provide. But if survivalists learn these skills, they can take care of themselves anywhere. However, a person who does that type of lifestyle, guess what? The reason why they are survivalists or living a super life, because they love it. Even if you gave them certain things to make their life easier, they'd be like, huh, serious? I love this. So on the Breatharian journey, some people love it. This is the point we're trying to make. And survival, super life, means you continued. You made it. You survived this. You survived that. It's a survivor. It continues. See how we made it a higher vibration? That's what the word means. So a breatharian basically is a survivalist.
And this also reminds me of the breatharian path, because a lot of people want to become breatharian overnight. You know, they'll take a quick 9-day or 21-day process. They want to be a breatharian right away so they can get all the benefits, which is sleeping less and needing less and all this and that. But if you're not loving the process
Right.
of becoming a breatharian, because honestly it takes more than 9 or 21 days, but if you don't love the process, then the breatharian lifestyle may not be for you, because the process, everything you need to do to get there, is the lifestyle.
Exactly.
That's also the end product, right?
Because if you don't love the process, it's not sustainable. You're not gonna last long.
Right.
You
So
don't
why
understand.
do it? So because it's a lifestyle of meditating and cultivating energy and being in nature and eating less and just naturally wanting less in your life. So
Right.
think about whether, and I just had a little leaf tap me on the head and say, nature, be aligned with nature.
So what we're saying, it's a state of consciousness. Now, a lot of people come into it because they think it's going to give them status. So they're chasing the status and not the state.
The state is where it's at.
So,
Yeah.
because if you chase status, that brings forth the energy of jealousy.
Yeah, it's also ego-driven, and the whole
And the
crux
light
of-
don't play with that.
Yeah, the whole crux of this path is letting go of ego and becoming more spirit, more of a life being. So if you're after ego, you're going to have a real hard time letting go of food. It won't be natural.
It won't be natural. You can't force it. I'm an athlete. I put my money. We ain't even talking that. You surrendering.
Yes. Yeah. It's a beautiful path of constant surrender, constant letting go, and just falling into the rhythm of nature.
Oh man, this is good.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful journey. Why wouldn't it be? You're working with the source. See, the source is so powerful. Here we go. Because sometimes we talk about ancient knowledge. Before ancient knowledge even came out, the source was here. The oldest temples on the planet, the oldest pyramids, the source was here. They don't care about that. Oh, this is deep. The first writings that even came out when we talk about spirituality, they're all man-made. The source was still here. That power is inside of you. It will tell you where to go next. Knowledge is not hidden. Wow. Wow. It was here before either any group, names, religion. We're just playing games. It was here before all of it. It don't care. All it wants is a survival, somebody who wants to continue, who wants to live a super life.
It's good stuff. It's such good stuff.
Oh, man. So once again, we hope you got a lot out of this.
It's a beautiful life. It's a beautiful life, and I'm so grateful for it. So thank you so much for joining us. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.
La, la,